Hello, everyone. We're going to be getting started in about 5 minutes or so. I just want to confirm that you can hear me. So if you can just try and raise your hand in the webinar, just to confirm that for me. And I see a hand being raised. Thank you very much. So we will be joining or starting again in about 5 minutes. I'll be talking to you very soon. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for your patience. And hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Capoletti. I am a Senior Applications Engineer and IoT Cloud Architect with our US Tech Support team. Today, I will be discussing how we can simplify the integration of control and data collection in a modern industrial automation business environment. Over the past few years, machine data collection and data-driven analysis have been one of the most valuable features we can offer both ourselves as machine builders and our customers as system integrators. The merging of industrial automation and control and IT disciplines is a big challenge for today's industrial automation engineers. As we go through, feel free to ask any questions during the webinar. You'll find a Q&A section on the bar. We'll get to a Q&A section at the very end. Modern projects involve various equipment like sensors, power meters, robots, smart cameras, and more. They all speak different languages. Your data is scattered, connectivity is complex, and your customers expect you to tie it all together into a single system and share the collected data with their IT and cloud platforms. Sometimes we are more experienced and familiar with some OT protocols than others, depending on our past experience. That's just the everyday reality that we're here to solve. Most of us deal with systems that don't talk with each other. Every time you add new sensors or devices, it means another driver, another setup, another headache. And while management wants cloud analytics and dashboards, we're stuck just trying to make things work on the floor. Complexity costs are well known, but often underestimated in total project calculations. More software, more gateways, more temporary fixes, the more fragile your system becomes. Integration eats up project time, and every little change turns into a half day of troubleshooting, making us struggle and frustrate our customers. At the end of the day, engineers don't want fancy. We want practical. Something that controls, monitors, and shares data without the use of 10 different tools. One reliable platform that speaks every language and scales easily when the project grows. This is where UniStream comes in. It's not just a PLC, it's the heart of a control and data integration platform. It's one platform that brings everything together: control, visualization, communication, and data. It's built to connect everything from shop floor devices to your IT systems, simply, securely, and reliably. You can start small with a built-in model or go modular for larger systems. And all that runs in one license-free software, Unilogic. What makes UniStream practical is that it's designed to build real-world projects. You can control PLC logic, build your HMI, connect to cloud, SQL, or MQTT, all from the same environment. There's no need for extra middleware or integration tools. It's clean, simple, and powerful. For OEMs and integrators, this means less repeat work. You can reuse functions and logic blocks from one machine to another, handle remote diagnostics easily, and deliver systems that include 5 years of our UniCloud connectivity out of the box. It's faster to build and easier to maintain. And the UniCloud brings another set of really unique features: backup and restore, secure remote access without the need for a public IP usage, aka port forwarding, and easy Microsoft Office style dashboards that you can design, build, and more. This is the full picture from your sensors and mechanical devices managed by the PLCs on the floor up to IT systems and cloud. You collect, log, and publish data safely using MQT, REST API, OPC UA, and then instantly visualize it. You decide what stays local and what goes to the cloud, giving you total control over your data flow. Unilogic was built to save time. It really simplifies the development process. Everything you need, logic, HMI design, communications, data management, it's all handled in one environment. There's no jumping between tools or dealing with extra licenses. It's intuitive to use with drag and drop functions and reusable code blocks that save a lot of time, almost 50%. The result is a smoother workflow and faster project delivery without compromising on control or flexibility. CAMS is a great example of how traditional OEM can turn its machine into a data-driven product. CAMS builds mobile recycling, rock crushing, and plants that change locations periodically from site to site. They needed a simple way to track each machine, monitor performance, and service remotely. With UniCloud and UniCloud, UniStream and UniCloud, they got plug-and-play visibility with live data, dashboards, and control, all without IT involvement. Here we can see one of the dashboards with all the devices where we can track the location and even interact with its HMI as if we were directly in front of it from any sort of mobile device like our phones or any browser. Giving us access to all different data analytics that we may need for our machines. So this can be for our rental services of our devices, how we can track their usages across different locations or for specific customers. Our different widgets, which are drag and drop customizable here on the dashboard, even have their own options for exporting or customizing for the operators themselves for CSV, PNG, or we can even change the time frame that we're trying to scope it through. You can even see how some of the more basic elements here, like a gauge, a line widget, a table, although these are just simple Microsoft Office style elements, they can be used across the board for different values. So the same variables as we're using before or looking at before, it just depends on which information we're populating into these dashboards to get the full control out of it. And once again, with the ability to export. Again, same dashboard, but just different information populating. We have our table, up to 50,000 records can be stored on these tables in line graphs. So we can really scroll through a lot of information or historical data, or export that into other resources if we need it to. And we can always go back, see the location, where all these devices are currently installed, which customers currently have them, and filter to those machines to see what this machine is currently using, or being used for, if it's even connected. Everything we see on the screen here is very customizable. This is also from the machine builder perspective. So there's a lot of control over how this can be utilized and how we can access this from the customer perspective to see only the machines or devices that we've assigned to them or given them access to. So imagine one PLC collecting all data relevant for further analysis, regardless of device or protocol. That's UniStream. It aggregates and timestamps everything, creating a single trusted data source. At the end of the day, this is what matters. Less complexity, faster projects, and data that you can actually trust. UniStream isn't just a controller, it's a practical way to connect every part of your operation from sensors to dashboards and keep it all running smoothly. With that, I'll take any sort of questions that you may have about this. Feel free to go to the Q&A section of the webinar on the bar. Happy to answer what I can. Give us a little more time here. Just again, if you have any questions, feel free to add them in. There will be a copy of this webinar recorded, so we should be able to get access to this after the fact. We'll try and get that sent out, or if you have any questions, you can reach into support@unitronics.com. We're happy to answer any questions you have there. We do have a question come through. Are there any predictive tools within the programming? I think I'd have to hear more about which sort of feature you're looking for or the use case for that. I believe the answer would be no for right now, but I'd have to understand better what you were trying to achieve. So if you want to send that into our support, or if you want to follow up here in the Q&A, happy to take a look at that. Another question here about security measures. What security measures are in place to protect the data from the PLC to the cloud and from the cloud to the devices? So there are a lot of different security measures in place from our PLC to our UniStream, from our PLC to UniCloud specifically. All of this is listed in our unitronics.cloud website, but there is certificate-based authentication. It all uses encryption in transit, in rest for data communications. There's ISO certification from third-party resources on our UniCloud service as well. Also two-factor authentication for any users that are sending data back down to our devices to control them or communicate with them, and password for all of our protocols that require or that would involve unilogic communications over VPN. Also for VNC password protection is now required. So there are definitely a few places, a few items in place. When we start going into other third-party platforms, there may be more limited on the platform that you were communicating through, but we do have a lot of options available for encryption or data encryption security for different protocols like MQTT, REST API. It just depends on what platform you're going through. So this looks like this may be addressing the previous questions about predictive for instance, vibration sensors on motors to detect issues with bearings. Yeah, so this wouldn't necessarily be a predictive functionality or feature of the PLC, just built into it's be more be built into our PLC logic for what the different limitations may be or restrictions may be for what your sensors can read in. And what you just define as tolerance for them. So we have alarming features that the PLC supports that can get or implement different security protocols for that. But all of this can also be communicated up to UniCloud as well. So that's definitely a possibility. It just depends on what the information is that you can get to the PLC with what sensors. Yeah, so predicting when a sensor itself is going to fail, that really just depends on the sensor itself. If we can track to see its lifetime usage, that can definitely be implemented into your logic on your PLC. If you're trying to track the pressure differential of filters lifetimes or lifespans, that's a pretty common practice to see that that's within range. But usually we're going by something like lifetime expectancy in that front, or tracking to see the if the value is within expected range. That would be something that is more sensor specific to how we can track to see when it's failing. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions come through. If you guys do have any more questions, please feel free to send them into support@unitronics.com. You can reach out to us there. Happy to answer any follow-up questions you may have. And again, we should have another copy of this webinar available, recording of it. You can reach out to that for us for that as well. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.